Hey guys, I'm Jason Inman, and we're here to talk about all our favorite DC TV shows, and I have a very special guest joining me, my co-host Tiffany Smith.
I'm so special. This is awesome.
Well, you're special, and you love these shows just as much as I do, so let's get to talking about some of these.
Awesome. Okay, so Gotham has thousands of villains to choose from, which they're doing an incredible job with this season.
Now, there's something really cool that happened. As a 90s Batman fan, the Order of St. Dumas, which is the organization that trained Azrael, who is the man who replaced Batman in the 90s, and he had like this metal suit with claws. The fact that Gotham is dealing with that organization, that's something I never thought we'd see live action.
I'm really loving the interactions between the villains on this show. I think that, they really built it up this season saying that, it wasn't gonna be a villain a week. They were really gonna delve into the psyche of these characters, and two, that I'm just loving seeing interact. We've got Enigma and Penguin.
The two best actors in the show.
They're such characters and character actors. I just love seeing what they're gonna do. They constantly surprise me. And I mentioned it before, but I'm like, what Enigma does reminds me so much of Gollum when he goes in between the personalities. But obviously now, there's no more in between personalities.
Do you like full-on, basically Riddler Enigma?
I do, because I think that, Batman needs his villains, and these ones are becoming more and more that extreme version of the Batman Gotham City villains that we all know and love.
And we know that this week, Bruce is going to take a step closer to finding out the identity of his parents' killers, which, as we know in the comic books, is Joe Chill. I wonder how soon, will he find out if it's Joe Chill or will they go another route? That's a cool thing about this show. Speaking of routes, let's talk about taking routes through the multiverse. The Flash. We got our first look at Hawkgirl. Cisco touched Kendra, and he saw her as Hawkgirl. How cool was that?
Yeah, I'm totally shipping Kendra and Cisco. I can't help it. And now him knowing that this is someone who is also, quote unquote, a metahuman. Is she really a metahuman?
Yeah.
She's probably an alien. But that he may feel like he can connect with her even more.
And then the other thing we have to talk about, Gorilla Grodd, big part of this episode. He went to Earth 2, and we saw Gorilla City. Now, this is something that was introduced in Flash 106. Something, again, I never thought we would see in live action TV. It's something there's ideas about comic books that you're just like, oh, we'll never see that. And then the fact that Gorilla City is now in live action is insane.
Well, and it comes up with the question of everyone's like, oh, do we trust Earth 2 Harrison Wells?
Do you trust him?
I mean, with this piece where he's like, you should send this guy back to Earth 2, we've got a perfect
his
place
happy
for
city.
him. It's kind of a good move on his part.
I'm on the side of trusting him. I trust Earth 2 Harrison Wells.
I do too, actually. I really do. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see, though, because there are tons of Holy Harrison moments still in this season. Another show that kind of delves off the path of all of these superhero shows is iZombie. I've been loving everything that they're doing. Every single week, I'm excited to see what brain Liv eats and what character she becomes. But this week was even more interesting because leading up to this point, it's always been Liv and Blaine fighting against each other. Yeah.
Versus.
And this episode kind of leads them to the place where they have to team up because obviously there's someone doing something not so nice to the zombies.
Well, Major's going around tranking zombies and throwing them in freezers.
But they don't know that it's Major, so they're teaming up. And it also is weird because it's like, okay, Liv and Major have finally found their place, back together. Little does she know that he's the one they're actually hunting down.
It's gonna lead to a big confrontation between the two of them. And also, we have the big mystery about who left the package on the doorstep of the FBI agent.
I don't know. What's in it? A zombie head?
It could be a zombie.
What's in the box? That's what I felt like when that happened, because I'm like, first of all, we don't really know what this new FBI agent's motives are. She's obviously there working with Clive, but is she really there to help him out, or is she just trying to worm her way closer to him because somebody knows that he works with Liv and that she's a zombie? I don't know.
Yeah, see, I don't trust her.
I don't trust her, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, on to another show where this character, we'll have to figure out if we can trust him or not.
My favorite show.
Arrow.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the big Hive reveal and Diggle's brother?
Well, first let's talk about that his name is Andy Diggle, which of course is a big homage to the Green Arrow Year One storyline, which is kind of what the season 1 was about, but also the flashbacks this season and dealing with the mercenaries on the island, there's some pieces from that storyline. I think it's cool that he's alive. I think it's interesting that he's a villain because now Diggle, who is now a full-on hero.
Diggle just can't catch a break.
Yeah, that's true.
Seriously. His wife gets kidnapped, then he's like, okay, I'll be the hero, and then Ollie comes back and he's like, no, I'm the head honcho, and Diggle's like, no, we're gonna fight. Wait, we're gonna work together. Oh wait, my brother's back, and he's a villain.
Yep.
That sucks.
It does suck, and he can't win. But you know somebody who could win, that's Oliver Queen for mayor. especially now that he has Damien Dark's endorsement and help, which is an interesting situation that Damien Dark doesn't know that Oliver's the Green Arrow, but Oliver knows who Damien Dark is. And also, it's another one of those things like taking from the comic books, because that's a storyline from Green Arrow number 60 in 2006. And that, by the way, is one of my favorite runs of Green Arrow of all time. Judd Winnick wrote it. It's so good, and I've actually been waiting 4 seasons for Oliver to run for mayor, so now that he's finally running, it's interesting.
I mean, I think it's interesting because when you look back at past seasons, and even this season, when Oliver comes back and he's like, I don't want to do it the same way, I don't want to be that, I don't need that darkness anymore. And so I wonder if Damien is still seeing some of that in him.
Oh, the islandness.
That's what makes him want to connect, you know? And it's like, oh, maybe this guy could totally be on my side, which, I mean, when it really comes down to it, Oliver is not on his side.
I'm really excited. Do you think he'll win? Just throw it out there.
I mean, yeah, I think he's definitely going to win because I think it just adds
Season 5, Mayor Arrow.
A whole new dynamic to the show, you know? And I get what he's saying, that, you know, he's the only person who could really protect himself in those situations, though I think it would be even harder to hide his identity then, because it's like, oh, the mayor just shot a bunch of arrows and he was so on point. Like, how is he so good at that?
Yeah. So let's talk about our bad apple of the week. And this week, who's it going to be, Tiffany?
So I think of all the shows, the one character that I think could really surprise us and that I want to keep an eye on, a very close eye on, Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, on Gotham. I mean, I think it's because you've seen him kind of starting to want to work with Silver and then kind of still walking that fine line of helping out Gordon, but not, and trying to figure out who killed his parents. And I just think that he could maybe make some missteps that could be really interesting.
Might go too
along
far.
The way.
Okay, interesting. Wow.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Well, Tiffany, I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on Bruce, especially since he's now a bad apple. And we'll see you next time when we talk more DC TV. Now that we're all caught up on DC TV, be sure to click subscribe so you can see the cast and crew of DC's Legends of Tomorrow give us a preview of Season 1.
And after this week's episodes, head over to DCComics.com to check out all of the #DCTV secrets that are hidden in the episodes.